Hi snooker fans, Curtis Braithwaite here for QSports.club. I'm here in Harlow to check in on an old friend of mine and legend, Jason Pegram, for a Where Are They Now special. So JP, how are you, mate?
I'm alright, mate, thank you.
Good. Now Jace, tell us, what got you into snooker in the beginning?
My dad was friends with Barry Hearn and he managed a club called, remember Lucania?
Yeah.
There was a chain called Lucania. They had clubs all over London, UK and stuff, but there was loads around London area. My dad had a club in Harlow that he managed for Barry Hearn. And I was football orientated at the time. My granddad played for Tottenham, so I was sort of, go and play football, you know. So that's how I sort of, my youth was football from sort of 7 upwards. And then my dad was getting jealous because I was always with my granddad and my uncle.
Yeah.
So he said, get him up to snooker club when you're finished football, so I can spend a day with him there, you know.
Yeah.
And there was one table in the club, table 11 in Harlow at Lucania. And it was a bit lower than all the other tables. The legs were a bit shorter. And I could reach over that because I was only little as a kid. So I used to play on that table and started knocking balls about. And then all of a sudden, I think a year in, I was making 40s. And then by the time I got to 12, I'd 100 break, which was against Darren Clark, who was a pro, at Prestatyn, practising in Will, made 100. And I thought I'm obviously competing then, like, you know, so that was me.
Yeah.
But my dad was a big influence on getting me playing in a bullying way.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's where you get your tough character from, did it?
yeah. My dad was a doorman. Would never come home on time. Always stay out at night.
Yeah.
He was a nightmare. Yeah. So that's how I've turned out. Probably a bit fiery.
Great stuff, pal. Now tell us, what was your best achievement when you were playing the game?
I was an underachiever, sadly. From my talent, what I believe in, what I had.
Yeah.
I had a great start to my career. I beat Billy Chivers at the time in a Lucania National in Romford, the old Romford club, where Davis grew up. I went there as a 12-year-old, I think. 11, because I'd had 100 at 12. So 11, I probably had 50 break, my highest break.
Yeah.
Billy Chivers was an England international. And I beat him. And I got 25 quid for beating him because he was a seeded player.
Quality.
Barry Hearn's tournament. And it was basically, I've got a great story here. I beat Billy Chivers. Steve Davis said to me, if I beat him, he's going to give me his Atari computer. The old school Atari. I've still got that home.
Quality, mate, yeah. Keep it boxed for life, that.
And then after that, I just went on to play in loads of pro-ams, always getting beat 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 as a kid. Useless. Learning, all of a sudden taking frames off good players. My game was coming on. And then I grew up with amazing juniors, but my junior career was all right, not as good as it should have been.
Yeah.
But then I hit a good patch from 1990 to 1994.
Yeah.
I was winning some pro-ams. And also I went over to Holland to promote snooker.
Okay.
And I won a big event in Holland. I beat David Rowe, Joe Swell. I beat Chris Scanlon in the final.
Yeah, good player, Chris, wasn't he?
At the time, they were top players, you know.
Yeah.
And I beat Chris on his own patch, which was hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'd done another event in Finland that same sort of year, 92. Lost in the semi-final of it was a minor ranking event. I beat some good players there. That was televised.
Okay.
I'd say, looking back, that's probably my best achievements, really. But the first 4 years as a pro, I always was moving up the rankings.
Yeah.
I was never dropping. And then it's another story after.
Well, Jace, it's interesting what you said about like your amateur upbringing and that, because I think it's why a lot of amateurs suffer today. Like that hard upbringing you had, like going to pro-ams, bundles of players, really tough standard, getting battered week in, week out. So many up-and-coming players back then, the likes of Hamilton, yourself.
Yeah, I mean...
Gary Keeble downstairs.
Yeah, Gary Keeble downstairs. I mean,
you know?
when I was first he was like a start on me.
Yeah.
Johnny Wright, but Dave Gilbert, Gary Keeble, Gary Filtness, Nicky Lazarus, I suppose. There was Martin Smith, Paul Fryer, amazing players that I looked up to as God when I was a kid. And I learnt off of all of them because they were old school, you know, not cheating, but you couldn't put a stroke over them. They knew they put the black on the spot. If they knew it was going to be in the way of a red, they just put the black on the spot a little bit over. You know, to stop you potting out red. And then unless you ask them, which was scary, to move it onto the spot, you can't pot the red. They know all the tricks. You know, and Filtness was the biggest stroke puller out of a lot of them.
he still is now.
Oh, he was murder. Yeah, he was murder. You had to beat him properly, or he took you out of it. Like, you know?
Good player, though, Gary.
Yeah, Gary. Yeah, mustard.
Very good player.
Mustard.
Quality player.
Fast cloth player. He's touching the balls. The old school tables probably didn't suit him as well as what he would have done now if he could. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Fast cloths now, it'd have suited him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I had a great upbringing, snooker, amateur, unbelievable.
Yeah, those were amazing days, man. I mean, those Blackpool days. But we'll talk about a bit more of that later in the interview anyway.
Yeah.
But look, I know you played your last match in 2005.
Yeah.
A quarter-final against Ryan Day on the UK tour.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a good tournament for me because I was really just going through the motions. From about 98, I was done. As soon as it left Blackpool, my game was gone because I was losing to people that I used to beat 5-0. You know.
Yeah.
I went through one tournament. I qualified in about 5 events out of 9 in Blackpool.
Yeah.
To the later stages, and then by the time I'd been there a month, coming in at 5 in the morning, my game was gone. And all of a sudden, the people were beating me 5-0, 5-1, 5. It was just terrible. And I knew I was done.
Yeah.
But I couldn't leave. I couldn't give it up like a lot of people can't. You know, they just can't give a game up.
Yeah.
Keep going. It's a lovely game.
Yeah, of course, in your blood.
So I'm still playing in these little minor things. It went to I think we went to Plymouth. Then after that, it went to some tour events, and they was held Newcastle under Lyme. Then we ended up in Jesters in Swindon playing some tournaments there. And I hadn't done nothing, and all of a sudden I've got one event left. I was working. I've always worked really. Yeah. So it weren't my life. And I played David McLennan from Scotland. He had to beat me in that match to get on the tour, and I beat him, which was unfortunate for him. Yeah. Because I've cost him his career again, really. Yeah. I played Stuart Reardon, and I played Tony Knowles. Yeah. I was 2-0 up on Tony Knowles, and his tip miraculously fell off. So I was flying. I'd have beaten 4-0. half hour, he was back home. I'm 2-0 up, and he's gone to me. Look, the tip's come off, and he's pulled it off. Yeah. And
he didn't want any more of the big JP, did he?
Nah, I was smashed him. He wanted, and he had half hour or whatever, put it on. By the time then, he'd come back and got a couple more frames, but I beat him. And all of a sudden, I'm like, quarter final. If I win it, I'm back on a tour. Wow. Yeah. And that's when it hit home. That's when I lost. Which is why I'm here now. No, Ryan Day bashed me, and I knew he was going to go on to big quality.
Yeah, he must have.
To be fair, every time he hit the ball, I thought, he's queuing, and he just knew he was a good player. Yeah, you can spot him a mile off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Don't know what's gone wrong with him. But I'm hoping that he goes back to how he used to be, because he was going to do some damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's either found women or drink. I don't know what one he's found.
Or probably a mixture.
Yeah.
So, Jay, since that match in 2005, pal, where you actually hung up the cue, but professionally or trying to get...
Yeah, I knew that was done, yeah.
Tell us what you've been up to. That's the $1 million question. What's happening with you now?
Right. I'm now... Since 2005, I managed a snooker club myself in Ware. Obviously, I'm only limited 28,000 a year I was getting as a manager. Good, all right money. Yeah. But I always wanted to get more, because I need to. My lifestyle warrants that. I've got 2 daughters, so I needed to earn some more money. And I then was getting into the lifestyle in that snooker of not coming home. So I was losing birds that weren't lasting 5 minutes. It was enough for me. So I knew I had to change my life. Then I got into building. Okay. It was just by chance. Someone said, why don't you come in and do a bit of painting for us and do a bit of this odd carrying. I mean, I was crap at that. But I just didn't like that. But the building, the painting and stuff like that suited me. And I got into it. I enjoyed it. The money was good. And but it was always limited again. And I thought, I've got to say, I've got more in me than this. Yeah. Snooker is always in my head, always rattling around, and that was what I knew that I had to do something with snooker. Yeah. So my old sponsor, who stuck with me through thick and thick, really, thick and thin, don't know. He done his nuts on me, right? So he believes in me, and he does believe in me now. Yeah. So he sort of said to me, "I'll finance you a club. We'll get a club together." Okay. But I have some finances myself, so we've basically gone 50-50, and here you are. Yeah, this absolutely. Is my club. I've got 2 floors, and I'm in the process of developing my own snooker hall, which is going to be open on the 10th of September by Steve Davis, who's my hero. Yeah, quality stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I can definitely say like I've had Jason's given me a little tour before the interview. The place is being done up at the minute. It's going to look mustard, guys. So make sure you get down there September the 10th. Aircon, support the great cause, get some money over the bar, get down and enjoy yourself.
I'll
guys.
look after you. You come over and have a good night with me, and I'll put you up in a hotel.
There you go, guys. There you go. Looked after as always. So, Jace, tell us, mate, what things would you have liked to have changed differently in your career when you were playing?
My career. My dad was a big thing for me at my young age. My dad wouldn't let me do anything.
Okay.
I don't even remember drinking alcohol till I was about 21, 22. He was on me all the time.
Yeah.
And looking back now, as much as a bully he was, he stopped me going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
I was a serious snooker player. And all of a sudden, he's out of my life, I'm driving. So probably 1920, he weren't around. And I just started, and I was happy for that, because he was a complete nightmare.
Yeah.
If I lost a match, it was like that all around, and badly. So a weight was off me. But then, of course, I'm out, and I can go out. And I was a bit of a salt back in the day, you know what I mean? I was Matt Goss. Eddie Manning was Martin, what's his bloody name out of the Wet. Marty Pello, he thought he was anyway. And Lee Richardson, I don't know what Lee was. He was like, but when we went out, we all had a different look about us. And we could pull anything.
Yeah.
So that was, my dad obviously going, ruined my game in a way. Because I then had no structure. I could do what I wanted, and I was...
Dangerous combination, that is.
Yeah, that's right.
You do what you want, a dangerous combination, Jace, we know that.
So that's where my game sort of suffered, you know, that's what I'd like to have changed about it.
Okay.
I'd like to have thought that I could have had someone say to me, sort yourself out, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna lose it all. And no one was like that. And I was in... I wouldn't say I was with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
I was just not dedicated enough to get away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think we all seem that way now. We all look back. We're not has-beens or bitter. I'm not anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I look back now and think, you dickhead.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I've had a good time. But I do look back now because I think my game wanted doing better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason, it's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? Because like at the end of the day, you grew up in that sort of era. Was a lot of the party boy era, wasn't there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was so much drinking and
My
gambling
missus just
and
walked in, so I can't mention no women. Yeah, I was a nightmare.
You know?
Yeah, the party boy era. I mean, it was. I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
We was all kept away. It was like a misspent youth. We spent all our time in snooker clubs.
Yeah.
So we weren't out in the pubs and clubs and stuff like that early days.
Yeah.
While we were practicing, all my pals from school were getting girlfriends. They was in a pub, whereas we were stuck in snooker clubs. And then all of a sudden, we let off our leash.
Yeah.
And while we were at all these events that was held at holiday camps and stuff like that, all of a sudden now we're getting a little taste for the ladies, and we could all have the chat. We all picked it up from all the boys in the snooker hall. So we was a combination of a sex machine.
And you had more hair back then than all.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Chin, yeah, not one. Carl Barrows would have loved me back in the day, yeah. But that's really where it all, I mean, that took a lot of careers away.
Yeah. I mean, it's strange, James, because you know I remember growing up myself in like snooker halls, and it's amazing how many things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
With just being the snooker hall.
Yeah.
We all know how to play Kaluku. We all gamble. We all drink. It's all the same things, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just couldn't get away from.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
You can't. It streetwises you.
Yeah, absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
You go in a snooker club, a boy, you come out a man, you know, and that's pretty much how it is. And there ain't really a lot you can beat. They're not. I mean, we all think we know it all, but I'll tell you what, most of us do.
Yeah, for
You know what I
sure,
mean?
for sure. Because you had to get tough.
Yeah.
Because like you said, as a youngster, you'd go in the snooker hall and there's people there ready to take your money any way, shape, and form, be it on the table or off the table. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
what shocked me with Willie Fawn in that TV programme.
Yeah.
He didn't last 5 minutes in that. He was in bits. He wanted to go in a hotel. I think most snooker boys that come out from a ghetto club, especially the London areas and stuff like that, would have been sweet on that street.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
We slept there before anyway. A different size, does it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But no, you're right. It really toughened you up. And it was back to what we were talking about the amateurs scene earlier on, like when you were younger.
Yeah.
It was a real tough amateur scene.
Yeah.
You had to get anywhere in a tournament then, you had to be a player then.
Yeah.
You really did.
Well, when I was an amateur, we had dangerous players all over. There was all the London boys.
Yeah.
Then you had the Welsh. When I was an amateur, Steve Newbury, Wayne Jones, Tony Chappell, they were dominating the amateur game all over the UK, them boys. Drago come over, cleaned up.
Yeah.
And then you had the Scottish boys really. But they're saying that the Scottish snooker only really developed in the 90s. Hendry was a freak. You know, he obviously was ready. But other than that, all the Scottish lot that I remember, I can't remember any of them being half that good. Ian Black and people like that. Eddie Sinclair. So that was the ilk that I sort of come out of. So the London, Robert Marshall, was Bristol, Mark Johnson Allen. There was players from all over. Dave Rowe, another fella called Mark Thompson who sadly took his life.
Yeah.
British boys under 19 champion. He was unreal.
Yeah.
And I was watching all these players. You know, I get beat, but I still stayed there and watched them.
Yeah.
And then you sort of Johnny Wright, Joe Boy, some fantastic players that I got to learn from.
Yeah.
Which I think is why the players of today are not getting the grounding that I got.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, pal. Like I said, it's just different.
They're learning from a geezer who's lamping balls around in a club that can make 100. They think they're the nuts.
Yeah.
That's all they're learning from. They're not learning properly. Any player who's based with an old player from the 70s, 80s or early 90s, if he's got him in his corner to practice with, then that player will come on so much more than another player who's just learning on his own in his club.
Yeah,
anyone behind you, if you've got someone behind you from my era or before, you'll be twice the player.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking to Alan Taylor about this the other day, and he was talking about Vic Harris being in his life, you know, and people like that. And Alf also mentioned Ron Gross. And all those sort of characters, you know what I mean, coming back towards your day, experienced guys like yourself.
I think in my corner for a while, my dad used to pay for Vic Harris to come over to play on a Friday night against us at the club when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mizzle, who was an old referee from back in the day.
Okay.
Steve Davis, Romford. He was part of the Romford scene, Mizzle. He used to come over with Vic and ref. And I used to play Vic, and Paul Fry was another player that would play Vic. And in the end, Stefan Mazarosis.
Yeah, I know Mazza, yeah.
Stefan Mazarosis is really who brought me on from a level to a higher level.
Yeah.
His break building was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from Stefan.
Yeah.
But then Stefan would have learned a lot from Willie Thorne. Eddie Manning would have learnt a lot from Stefan. Tom Ford, Mark Selby would have probably picked up stuff off Eddie. Yeah. That's how it sort of went down.
Yeah, I know.
So if you went a good club with good players,
yeah,
you'll get brought on a lot quicker.
Yeah, for sure.
And these young lads, they need to realise that. Go and find a club where there's a top player in there, or an old school player who's still playing. You'll learn loads.
Do you know what I've noticed a lot with these young lads as well, Jace? Is that a lot of them, they don't travel. They don't travel and be prepared to get bashed up a bit. They just they're in their comfort zones all the time.
Yeah, I'm hearing that they want to play on a style all the time.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like...
I'm hearing that they want like aircon, they want this and they want that. And I mean, we grew up in some right crap holes, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of the we used to have to put our scores up where the legs are.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I mean? Unbelievable, yeah. Balls all different coloured reds.
Yeah.
The blue was like a light blue, you know, it's mad. And these lads now, I'm not knocking them, but they want it perfect. And I don't think personally that's doing them any good.
No, it's not.
Because when you go to China and they go, it's this sticky or whatever it is, and you'd adapt.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, Jason. Do you remember being in the club and you put in a long blow and you get a whiff of somebody's weed joint that goes right past you in the club, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe I think these youngsters need to get back to a bit of that. They know exactly what it's really about, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can't just, I don't know, you've got to pick up all that, like footballers when they play on a crap pitch.
Yeah.
You know, a good footballer will play on anything. George Best, look what he used to do on shit pitches.
Yeah.
You know? What would it be like now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, imagine,
That's how I see it. That's why I think personally, obviously Ronnie's Ronnie, but these top players they will play on anything.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jace, back to the club a bit, mate. Just want you to elaborate a little bit more because I've not seen everything, but tell us what other features you're going to have in the club because it's like you said, it's 2 floors.
Yeah. In this club, I've got the lower floor as you come in. I've got 5 snooker tables in there. One of them is I'm buying tomorrow. I bought it off Stuart Bingham. Yeah. It's the 2009 World Final table.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quality. Okay.
Higgins beat Murphy.
Yeah,
it's
that's
that
right,
table.
yeah.
When they changed the star, I've got a last Riley silver leg. I've bought that. Go and pick it up tomorrow. That completes my 5 snooker.
Quality.
I think further down the line, I've got 3 sort of standard club tables.
Yeah.
1 and then 2 steel block tables.
Okay.
So I'm going to probably look to keep the 3 for the club players. You know, it's like ideally I'd want a bigger club. In 2 years' time, if I'm doing all right here, we're going to go and get a bigger club.
Right. Okay.
In Harlow.
Will you still keep this one, or will you move everything
to a little feeder club?
Yeah. Okay.
I've spent 60,000 pounds.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at here. As you come in, obviously we've got aircon. Being an ex-player, I know what people want.
Yeah.
I've got a bar separated from the snooker part. A great bar, unbelievable bar, granite top.
Yeah, I saw that downstairs.
I've got the tan on it, you know. There's aircon.
You don't mess about these.
No, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll cater for everything. You know,
good man.
Couple of salts going behind the bar as well.
Oh,
so
always a winner. Always a winner. Careful, the wife's downstairs, mate. Be careful, mate.
Yes, I'll be working late.
There'll definitely be a few late nights for sure.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, that's great stuff, Jace. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to it being opened.
Upstairs is going to be a pool club.
Oh, okay.
Around Harlow, there's quite a good pool scene.
Yeah.
I'm not really a lover of pool. I'll be honest with you. I think the game is it's easy. I think.
Yeah.
It's hard. I don't think it's pleasing on the eye for TV.
Yeah.
But I know that the game has got a bit about it. Hustling, money matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Skill. There is some skill.
Yeah, sure.
And I you know, but I'm not a fan of it myself.
Okay.
But I know that people love it. I appreciate why they love it, and I'll provide a pool club as well. I'm providing a pool club.
Great
That's going to have 6 supreme tables in it.
Nice.
Brand new.
Okay.
That's coming upstairs in my club as well.
Yeah, I've seen the dartboard area. You got
dartboard area
downstairs. Darts is massive now, isn't it?
Yeah, get darts. There's also going to be a little poker table, you know, for the boys.
Okay.
So I'm creating everything for people. Sports lounge as well. So.
Quality stuff, mate. No, that's great, guys. Get down there, like I said, September the 10th. Can't say it enough.
Come down.
Come down, mate. Come
Gin
down.
and tonic, double.
Now, Jace, tell us, back in your day, who were the players that you really highly rated?
As a pro?
Yeah, pros or amateurs?
Well, I obviously was a Steve Davis fan. Yeah. Steve Davis to me was unbelievable. Every time he won, people used to get bored of him winning, but I used to love it. Alex Higgins, I loved Alex Higgins.
Yeah.
When they played each other, it was hard for me because I've got that devil there and I've got the angel there. You know, Steve Davis is the angel, Alex is the devil, and I'm pretty like that myself.
Yeah.
So
definitely,
I was like, oh yeah, you know, Jimmy. They were the players. I mean, I really, really rated. It's going to sound really bad, like, because people were going to go, what? But I really, really rated Neil Foles.
Yeah.
For some reason, Neil was a great player, but people won't ever talk about Neil. Sorry, Neil, but they don't. I thought he was a fantastic player.
Yeah, he was a fantastic player, was.
And then there was Parrott and sort of people like that. But I always look Davis, Jimmy, and Alex.
Those are the
three. They were the players that I thought were the nuts, you know.
Yeah.
Then as an amateur, when I was growing up, I would look at my era. Angie come along the scene. I think I was about 15, 16. Angie just turned pro, and I thought, wow, where's this kid come from? To be fair, he didn't win a lot as an amateur.
Yeah.
He was getting bashed up. A load of London boys went up there. I think Martin Smith turned him over 5-0 in a final.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Angie's pro because he won a Scottish amateur.
Yeah.
Become a pro. I was jealous. A lot of us were, because we're thinking we've not really had that much to see of Andrew. All of a sudden, he's a pro, and we're having to carry on, you know.
Yeah.
Our English amateur event was tough to
Jesus,
qualify.
Yeah.
Scotland, 2 or 3 players, Jimmy Flip Flop and Freddie
McDonald.
Yeah, Russ Abbott, you know what I mean, Rod Stewart, you're in. So that's how it was, you know, which changed in the 90s, by the way. That was a false, but that was how it was. And Andy got through, and then, but all of a sudden he showed his nuts on the telly. Brilliant. You know?
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was awesome, and you knew that he was going to be the governor. And then, but obviously my era was Ebden.
Yeah.
Andy Hamilton.
Yeah.
This was my age. Ken Doherty. You know, these players were seriously good players. I mean, for me, Peter Ebden's the best amateur I see.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. I mean, I have to agree as well. When I remember when I first spotted Peter in the club, he popped into Campbell, and I can't remember who it was he played. It might well have been Paul Sweeney, I'm not sure.
Paul Sweeney, yeah.
But I sat there and I was in awe watching him. How quick he was back then as well.
Yeah,
but he was just devastating when he got in.
It was well dodgy Barnet. It was sure people were scared of that. But when he goes into one, go on. He was doing that in pro-ams.
Yeah. He's got a forceful side to him, isn't he? Anyway.
And he was fast, fantastic player, and he really took off a level, left us all standing.
Yeah.
And at Ilford, he was playing at Ilford when he was a little kid, and Ebden was learning from a lot of good players, and he was an unbelievable player. And I would say he's probably the best I've seen as my amateur days. Another tough player was Darren Morgan. He was a great amateur.
Quality player.
You know, people were going to be freaked out by some of the players that I rattle off, but They were good players, these boys.
Jason, can I ask you a question as well? The game took a little bit of a nosedive.
Yeah.
After that, what do you think the reasons were? Like, after that little period of the
well, when I turned pro, I turned pro through money. Really, we all paid our money and turned pro.
Yeah.
Half of us were ready, and half of us weren't. It was quite clear. Up Blackpool, we had some proper ice creams playing snooker in conditions. Honestly, I'm not being funny. Give them 50 start. Yeah. Absolutely useless.
Yeah.
Worse than some of these that are on the telly now.
Yeah.
That's bad enough.
Yeah.
And basically, it was terrible, you know.
Yeah.
And I was up there, and we was playing in all these like Embassy, Regal, all these tournaments that were sponsored by fag companies and drink companies.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they weren't allowed to sponsor for sport anymore.
Okay.
So all these tournaments like the Regal and the Embassy and the Benson's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All these sponsors weren't allowed to cover sport, so we knew the game was going to go down a little bit of a dip.
Absolutely.
Then you have to rely on your board to get you out of trouble. You have to rely on the snooker board then to create interest and go and get more sponsors.
Yeah.
Sadly, the board at that time was complete muppets.
Yeah.
So Rodney Walker was in charge. I don't even know who he is. He's probably got letters after his name and he's a sir. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was in charge of our game. I mean, what the fuck does he know about snooker? Right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here thinking, right, okay, we're all twiddling our thumbs. My era, mid-90s, the game's in trouble.
Yeah.
Sponsorship-wise. Mm-hmm. They've got a load of ice creams running their board. Ex-snooker players, you know. I'm thick as anything. And they're no different to me. All of a sudden there's people on the board that are ex-snooker players. They don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where it went wrong. They didn't get no sponsorship. We had 5 tournaments a year, it went down to, I think. We were going to play in Blackpool and whatever. 5 comps.
Jesus Christ.
You had to win about 8 matches to get 300 quid. So people knock me saying, you only won this on your you had to win a lot of matches to get a lot, like little money.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how it was. Playing me, yeah. So that's how it was. And then Rodney Walker, Muppet, killed the game, killed it. Yeah. So it had to be picked up again.
Yeah.
Barry Hearn got involved. At first I was like, wow, Barry Hearn involved with snooker. This is going to be the nuts.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job, isn't he?
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, all these lads were never going to have a future. Yeah. Barry Hearn's given that now. I think he's gone a little bit too far with it, personally. Yeah. I'm glad the PTCs are finished because they were a pony. Yeah. Watching that on telly, you know what I mean? God, drop me out, you know what I mean? So I couldn't watch it, some of these people. Yeah. Like if you draw a good player on the telly, you can't make 30, you know? Yeah, I'm watching them on there, I'm thinking, what are you doing on telly? Give you 50 start, mate. You know what I mean?
But Jay, it's like you said, it's all back to the amateur upbringing at the end of the day, like you said, the grassroots level of it. And what you said about Rodney Walker, a lot of guys have agreed with you. Hell of a lot of guys, especially from your area, have said exactly the same thing to me. Do you know what I mean?
I just watched him eat I think it was at Sheffield. I watched him sitting there eating in a restaurant. I thought he's eating with the money that people are paying him. Yeah. And he ain't providing it back. Yeah. You know, he's probably getting paid £1 a mile for travelling. Yeah. I didn't care. I think Ian Woosnam was on the board. What's all that about? You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
stick to golf a bit, eh?
You know, you tightness balls on the table or something. You know, it's just crazy what they were doing.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. You know, and all of a sudden Barry Hearn's got involved again. Yeah. Tidied it up a little bit. To me, they're killing it again. They're not looking at it from grassroots level now. They should be. Okay. You go in a club now, and I mean, these kids. There's some good players on the tour, but there's some terrible players on the tour, and they're on our TV now. Yeah. I mean, the bad players back in our day weren't on telly, really. I mean, I'm not saying everyone that went on telly were good. There were some terrible players on telly, but the majority of them now that are playing lower level can't get out of a snooker from 3 cushions. Yeah. When they have to go off 2 or 3 cushions, they've gone. They don't know what they're doing, and that's why a lot of these old players from my era, even Rod Lawler, people like that, are still doing all right. Yeah. And they've got their streetwise around the snooker table.
Absolutely.
They make a 60 look like a 300, but they can still play all right, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Rod's still done tremendous, isn't he?
Yeah, Rod. He's like Barry
nice
Pinches did it a few years ago. He's like had a second wind. Yeah. Rod's got it. I'm glad it's family man, you know. He needs a bit of dough.
Yeah, top
people. When I look at some of the people now, they're earning good money. Got fair play to them.
But Jason, it brings on to our next question then, because what are your opinions on the current state of the game then at the moment? Amateur and pro.
People say to me all the Chinese are going to take over and dominate. I'm yet to be convinced with that. Okay. Top level. I think James Watton was amazing. Yeah. Marco Fu, his fantastic thing. there were some other players. There was a Nopachon when I was at
Yeah, I remember him,
Blackpool. He was a great player.
Yeah, Tigers, wasn't he?
Oh, he was unreal, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, these geezers are limited, in my opinion, which is obviously not always everyone's cup of tea, but they're limited. Ding looked like he was going to break the ice for me. Ding looked like he was going to go on and be a winner.
Yeah.
Don't know what's gone wrong there. Probably a bird. But don't get in, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I personally think they're not cut out like us.
Yeah.
They're not like, ugh, you know what I mean?
Hard enough, yeah.
They're like a robot. They're churned out on a machine conveyor belt. And when you see Ding crumble at Wembley, Ronnie,
yeah.
you wouldn't think that when you look at them. They're like stone. But in there, they ain't got it.
Yeah.
You know? I'd love to see one come along who gets it. Wembo looks like he might have it.
Yeah, Wembo, he's crazy anyway.
Yeah,
but that'll do him well
that
anyway.
Might help him out.
That'll help him like well. Yeah, you're right.
You know,
yeah.
so he might be all right.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I don't really see snooker developing unless they go to amateur.
Okay.
English amateur events, the EASB, too bob. They need to get a proper board on, a board of structured old school players, a bit like myself. I mean, I can't do it. I'm a what do you call it now? I'm an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? But it's filthiness and people like that. They love it.
Yeah.
That could be ideal. Get on a board.
You're spot on there, mate. Someone like filthiness and people like from your area, you're spot on there because I'll tell you what, right? You guys know what it takes.
Yeah.
To go through, you know what I mean, what amateurs went through. These guys, they have no idea. Like you said, that's why they're not tough enough.
Yeah. I mean, there'd be a lot of players sitting there thinking, who's he to say this? I know. Yeah. That's all I'll tell you. You don't have to be a top snooker player to have a good opinion and a true opinion and a real one. I would say I know more about the game than most people do.
No, listen, I fully agree, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here today.
Yeah.
All right, now, Jay, so tell us, what things would you like to see changed about the current game at the moment?
I want it to go back down to every tournament being really meaning something.
Yeah.
You used to play in a tournament and it was like the nuts. Every single one was like a proper premier event. The only pony ones were like Victoria Challenge and charity things and pairs and that. Proper competitions, best of nines, then up to like 19 final, or like the UK was best of 31, I think, back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, get that tournament back to how it used to be, because that's just being known as it's not even the players like it, but it's not the tournament it used to be.
No, it isn't.
Make that a premier tournament, all of them again, make them proper tournaments. Have 8 a year or 10 a year, and then let these boys go and enjoy being family people. Pay them good money. Let these lads earn their dough properly, like, you know, and enjoy it, rather than having to be away from their kids and things all the time. So that's what they should do. That's where I think snooker should go now. I think that's what there's too many tournaments, too many things going on.
Yes, Jay, so you were telling us about the tour structure and what you'd like to see changed.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, as far as I'm aware, 64 stay on and the rest have to come off after 2 years.
Sort of like that, yeah.
I can't keep up with it. Personally, if there was 128 on the tour and they took 32 to the venue, of each venue, or maybe even, you see, I mean 16, if they played down to 16 a venue, televised the last 16, then I think you'll get some quality and you'll get some good quality matches. At the moment they're televising, I keep saying it, they're televising some terrible snooker matches. You know, put a telly on and you're like, oh, drop me out, you know what I mean? It's straight off, turn it straight off. Okay. And that ain't beef, it's not me looking as a bitter person, an ex-snooker player who didn't make it. That's not me looking like that. I'm thinking about the people that are on the street, the people coming off the street to watch it, people that are fans, you know, you turn it on and you're like, ugh. So I don't think the game's in good hands at the moment, talent-wise.
Talent-wise, with nothing coming through. A lot of guys are complaining about the federations in different countries, basically. Not only different countries, sorry, but like England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? That they're not doing enough for the amateurs. And,
no, they're not.
And right now, if you look at it, for amateurs now, there's not much for them to play in at all.
No. I don't know how Wales is, and I'm not sure about Ireland, but I do know about the Scottish, because I keep in touch with the Scottish lads. Paul McPhillips, Scott McFarlane, Craig McGilvery, and they were great players, you know. Scotland in the 90s were the force. They had Hendry, had Higgins, obviously, McManus. That was great. Drew Henry, Billy Snedden. Their amateur, their depth in players was unbelievable. Okay. And obviously they took over for a few years. They're crap at football, though. Can't talk about football with them. They're useless. Anyway, but the snooker wise, they were great. But that they were trying to get snooker going again in Scotland, and I do see on Facebook a lot of activity in Scotland snooker-wise.
Yeah, there is.
Chris Small.
Yeah.
Now he's helping out some kids, I think, coaching. Great lad.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate with his condition with his neck and back, I think it was.
Yeah.
But scrape him off the table. You
Jeez,
know what I mean?
yeah, he was one-eyed player,
Best
wasn't he?
out of his game, that fella. So he's ideal. He's the perfect. That's what I was saying earlier. People like him involved with people can only help you.
Yeah.
You know, I think Lee Walker's involved with Williams at the minute.
Yeah. Lee Walker's doing quite a bit with the Welsh at the moment.
But it's people like that, Anthony Davis and stuff in the Wales, and all these old players. If they're involved with the lad, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Judd, Steve Davis, or someone. Steve Davis got hold of Judd Trump. He'd turn him into Ronnie, just like that.
Yeah.
He would win loads more than what he's doing now. He's underachieving.
Yeah, I fully
People
agree.
like that need them. And Scotland, an amateur game. I don't even know if Scotland's carrying on like it. A few years ago, it was having a boost again. Seems to not be a big thing there anymore. Like, you know, I don't think there's any money up there to be put into the amateur game, sadly. But you need someone that Barry Earn should get a federation in Scotland. He should get a federation in Wales, a federation in Ireland, in England. Get the EASB out, dinosaurs, get a new lot in, and start a whole fresh. And then out of that, get the clubs like my club, get clubs involved with some events.
Yeah.
You don't have to bung the clubs. I wouldn't want any money out of them people that are coming in. There's clubs out there that they won't charge people to have an event there.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
people
you
keep
put
saying
money over the bar anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
But if you're a snooker person, there is owners of clubs out there that are snooker people.
Yeah.
They're who you want to go and get. And the only people who are going to get them is someone who's got a bit of a brain. All they're doing is sitting down, emailing people. Do you want an event at your club? No, I don't. Thanks, bye. Go round here and have a travel about, you know.
Yeah.
And then you'll get these events held. And if Barry Earns does it, put some money in there instead of giving Mickey McFlip-Flop £2,000 for losing in the first round, put this money into the amateur game.
Yeah, because it's actually getting worrying, man. Like we were saying, I mean, you had a chat off camera earlier on, and you're looking at what's coming, and there ain't much, is there? Do you know what I mean? Like the game's good at the moment, but you look in 10 years' time, there's nobody you can think there.
I hadn't had my finger on the pulse for a few years, but I remember going to Prestatyn a few years back watching when it was netball, you know what I mean? And I remember going back watching...
Nothing to do with them netballers, was it?
No, just I'm a netball fan, you know what I mean? Oh dear me, yeah, Jesus. Oh mate, every shally got it, every shally, yeah. But looking back, I watched Jack Lazowski there a few years ago, and I thought, Christ, this kid's good, right-handed, left-handed, giving it a big one.
Yeah.
Great player. And I was watching him, and I thought, Christ, he's going to go on to do things. I mean, he's underachieving big time.
Yeah.
Don't know why. But I haven't seen anyone coming along for a long time, you know. No. But I played golf with Peter Ebden, and he swore blind that Kyron Wilson is a quality player, and he's convincing me that he is.
Yeah, he's definitely showing it, isn't he? Like he won the Shanghai last year, and he's a right nice lad as well.
Yeah.
I
don't know Kyron, but Peter, what his word's good enough for me.
Yeah.
But I watch his game. I love his game. He looks like he's got everything, you know.
Yeah.
So hopefully he carries on because he looks a really good lad, nice lad as well. You know, and some of them now they think they're A-listers, you know. Get an autograph out of them. Like you watch them walking out. Oh no, I'll do it over there. You know, they should be standing there signing everything.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you're not footballers, you know what I mean? You're snooker player.
Correct, mate. Hey, talking about football just for a minute, we're going to be enemies on Saturday.
Liverpool.
Tottenham Liverpool Saturday, so do you know what I mean? I'm expecting a text with a bit of banter at the end of the game. Oh, we definitely get one if we come down here and win, I promise you.
Yeah, Christ, I mean, your team's off and on, isn't you? So,
oh, mate, I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Down that London Bridge, innit? I was going to say something else there, but now that's something else there, but I better not.
Yeah.
But snooker aside a minute, Jay, so what's the next chapter for you then?
Playing wise, I don't think I've got anything in me. I wanted to go into seniors, but best of three, I think it was, or was it best of three? Bloody Wigan.
Yeah, best of threes, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Wigan, what's that going to do?
Yeah, it's a long way, isn't it?
Where is it? You know what I mean? Up north, but it was near Christmas. My daughter's a priority for me. Christmas.
Yeah,
I play
absolutely.
snooker.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they was doing that. So that I didn't go in the seniors as far as I know. They've scrapped it.
Okay.
So that's a shame, but that's done. I'd like to play in a few little events myself that I have at my club, mainly for old has-beens. Just have a little game, put 100 quid in each and have a crack, you know?
Yeah.
That's me snooker-wise. I would, if there was a seniors tour proper, I'd have some of that.
Okay.
You know. But my club is my priority.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Sure.
I'm not really looking to have a resident pro or anything like that. I'm not fussed. I want to develop players rather than have some in it.
Yeah.
I want kids to come in. I will do a little coaching session and stuff like that. Get kids in. Probably have some player come down.
Okay.
And help the kids out. You know, someone who they might see on telly. One of my mates. You know, give them a few £100, get them to come out for the day.
Yeah.
Spend a bit of time watching kids. You know.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
If they want to help out the kids, then I'm sure they'll do it. Maybe even do it for nothing. You know.
Yeah.
I would certainly. Develop some lads. That's my goals now. Develop. I want to find a little gem.
Yeah.
And then let him go and enjoy the game and do well at it. That'll be brilliant for me.
Well, Jace, the game needs more people like you, pal. Also, I hear congratulations on all you just been engaged, aren't you, mate?
She's had a right touch with me. Don't worry about that.
You're punching there, son. You're definitely punching there, son.
She's a salt, yeah. I went out, there's a little story. I went out when I was 14.
Yeah.
And she come and watched me play Barry Earn's son, Eddie.
Okay.
The boxing promoter.
Yeah.
I played him in English amateur in the Matron.
Yeah.
He couldn't pot a ball, he was useless. Barry Earn he was useless, yeah. I smashed him 4-0. Anyway, my missus come to watch me there and she remembers it. 14 we was. And then I met her 30 years later in a pub in Harlow. Just went out.
Wow.
That morning I woke up, done an egg on toast, double egg come out, one yolk.
Yeah.
One egg, double yolker.
Double yoker?
Yeah, double yolker.
Oh,
so I was out and I was like, yeah, some bird's getting it tonight. And I was in that pub, just sitting there drinking, looking cool, had a little hat on and that. She's
Covering the body up?
Yeah, covering the body up, yeah. She was at the bar with a geezer and I thought, you've got no chance, I'm going to have her straight off him. And I did. Within a week he was gone, I was in, and I fell in love. Yeah, she's amazing to me.
Yeah, she's
brilliant. She's
top
like
class.
Funny. She puts up with me. I'm a bit hard work sometimes, but she
just a bit.
Yeah, yeah. She's got nothing to worry about. My ladies' days are gone, so I'm a genuine, committed, fully fledged geezer, and I'll look after her. You know.
Yeah, that's great stuff, pal. And I wish you both the very, very best for the future.
On the 5th of August on holiday. I've done it on the beach.
Yeah.
Mate, I couldn't.
Not like you to give it Charlie Biggs punches on the beach or anything like that, is it?
Yeah, no, I was like Richard Gere. I was like Richard Gere, honestly. I was a ledge. She could never say no.
Irresistible, son. Irresistible.
Yeah.
Different class. Right, Jace, listen, it's been tremendous talking to you today, pal, and I thank you so much for your time.
What you do for snooker is unbelievable.
Cheers, pal.
You're bringing players in on. You're making the public aware again that snooker's actually got characters.
Yeah.
That's the big thing I think for me. There's no characters really, or not. They're not being shown to be characters.
Yeah.
If they could put themselves out on the telly like they do, like I'm doing now, I could do that.
Yeah.
But the only people. Just let people have a beer again playing snooker.
Yeah.
Bring out their devil, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. Can't have a drink at the table. Let them have a drink.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is amazing.
Cheers, much appreciated.
And people like you in the game is fantastic.
Cheers, Jace.
Glad I met you.
Well, like I said, pal, it's been excellent talking to you, pal. Yeah. All of us at Q Sports Club want to wish you and your club the success in the future, mate.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back down real soon anyway and check out your progress and see what's happening with the club,
Anyone who wants to come here and have a night out or whatever with me, night in the club, you're welcome. And I'll make you feel welcome.
Great stuff, guys. So you heard it there first. JP's Club opening September the 10th, guys. So make sure you get down there, support the great day, the great night, and positive things happening down at JP Snooker. Yes. Cheers, pal.
Cheers, Chris.
Top man.
Cheers, mate.